What if you could actually visit the past? Or leap into the future? Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating, most captivating ideas that humans have ever dreamed up: time travel. It's a concept that has absolutely fueled our imaginations for generations.
I mean, come on, who hasn't? That wish for a do-over, for a second chance, or just to spend one more minute in a perfect moment. It's just a fundamentally human thing to want.
And the reasons are always so powerful, right? Maybe it's to fix that one mistake that keeps you up at night, or to just relive that one perfect day. Or maybe you just want a sneak peek at what's coming, or to solve some ancient mystery. Whatever it is, the pull is undeniable.
So, let's get on the same page. When we talk about time travel, what are we really talking about? Let's nail down a quick definition.
At its very core, it's about breaking free from the one-way street of time. You know, we all move forward, second by second, tick-tock, at the same pace. Time travel is the dream of grabbing the remote control of your life and just slamming on the rewind or fast-forward button. I love this analogy. Imagine your life is a book. Right now, you're on a certain page. That's the present. All the pages you've already read, that's the past. And the ones you haven't gotten to yet, that's the future. We're all forced to read this thing in order, but time travel, well, that's the fantasy of being able to flip to any chapter, any page, whenever you want. And of course, no one has had more fun with this idea than storytellers. For decades, movies, books, you name it, they've turned time into this giant, amazing playground that has totally shaped how we all picture this incredible idea.
You've got the all-time classic, Back to the Future. A simple trip to the past suddenly spirals into this desperate race against the clock to make sure your own parents fall in love just so you can even exist. It's so thrilling and, let's be honest, kind of terrifying when you think about the consequences.
Then you have something like Doctor Who, which is just pure, boundless exploration. Time travel here is a gateway to literally anywhere and anywhen. It's about total curiosity, from watching stars being born to seeing the universe end, all from inside a little blue box.
And it can be incredibly personal, too. A movie like About Time shows us a much more heartfelt reason for time travel. The power to go back and just savor the small stuff, fix a tiny regret, or get one last conversation with someone you love.
So, when you boil it down, fiction basically paints time travel as the ultimate double-edged sword. It's this source of incredible power and adventure, sure, but it is always loaded with risk. One wrong move, and the reality you know could just, poof, vanish.
And this is the big one, isn't it? After all the stories and daydreams and what-ifs, we have to ask the question, what does the real world, what does science have to say about any of this?
Okay, so it's time to step out of the DeLorean and into the physics lab for a minute. We're going to see what science has to say about how time actually works. And don't worry, we're going to keep it simple. All right, so here is the mind-bending secret from the world of physics. Time is not the rigid, constant thing we think it is. It's not some steady drumbeat marching forward. It's actually more like a piece of cosmic rubber band. It can literally be stretched and squeezed by the laws of the universe. And as far as we know, there are two big ways to do this bending. First up is speed. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time compared to someone standing still. And second, there's gravity. The stronger the gravity, the more time slows down. It's almost like time has to wade through thick mud near a really massive object. And get this is not just a theory. We've measured it. Astronauts up on the International Space Station, because they're moving so incredibly fast, actually age a tiny, tiny fraction of a second slower than the rest of us down here on Earth. It's a small effect for sure, but it proves a massive point. Time can bend. So, traveling to the future is technically possible, but what about going back? That's the real problem. The universe just seems to have this powerful forward momentum. Trying to go backward is like trying to unscramble an egg. Once it's done, it's done. And that challenge, that unscrambled egg problem, brings us to some of the biggest brain twisters in all of science, the paradoxes. These are the logical knots that make traveling to the past so incredibly complicated. And here it is, the most famous one of all, the grandfather paradox. Just think about it for a second. If you go back in time and say, prevent your grandparents from ever meeting, then you would never have been born. And if you were never born, how could you have gone back in time in the first place? It's a perfect, maddening loop that just seems to break logic itself.
So where does that leave the scientific community? Well, you can pretty much group them into three camps. First, you've got the optimists. They think, hey, maybe it's possible. We just haven't found the right cosmic shortcut yet. Then you have the skeptics who say, probably not. The paradoxes, the insane amount of energy you'd need, the problems are just too big. And finally, you have the curious, who kind of have the most honest answer. We just don't know enough yet to say yes or no.
Okay, so if we can't build a time machine in our garage just yet, why do we even care so much? Why are we so obsessed with this idea? Well, that brings us to our final and maybe the most important point of all.
The real power of dreaming about time travel isn't just about building a machine. It's about what the idea itself shows us, that the universe is way stranger, way more flexible, and more amazing than we usually give it credit for. It's a huge reminder to just stay curious.
And this really brings it all back home, doesn't it? Because for now, we all have our own built-in time machines. Our memories let us travel back to the past whenever we want. And our dreams, our hopes, our plans, well, that's how we travel into the future, every single day.
And so, we're left with this amazing mix of scientific mystery and pure storytelling magic. And even if we're stuck here in the present, the dream of bending time will always push us to ask that powerful question, what if? Because after all, isn't that where every great leap forward begins?